Hello, everyone. GoldenHawk here, creator of Ancient Powers and 24th degree High Priestess of House Alive. I've come on tonight to talk about a very serious subject, and I know that this subject is very close to a lot of people right now. And I'm also aware that there's been a high amount of, we could say, I guess I call it positive, uh, but it's negative to me. There's been a lot of diagnoses over the last few weeks uh, with cancer. And I do believe that this has to do with the ascension. Uh, Hello, Christy and Nikki. Anyway, I know that a lot of this has to do with the ascension. And I am very well that there's a specific canopic uh, in the Egyptian system that's being really heavily hit. And it's pretty serious. I myself, I'm a double Reiki master and had been working on my Kundalini Reiki mastery for a while. Um, and a lot of secondary Reiki practitioners and a lot of Reiki masters do work with cancer satellites, and there's a layer of energy in 4D in the light field, in the probability field, where we just go in, choco rave, boom, we send energy, just send energy, like 20 minutes a day, just send energy, some for a lot longer period than that, so that the energy is there to be used by the people who are satelliting and working directly uh, with cancer patients. And it can be a real simple thing to do, and it can be a real difficult thing to do, working in energy. And the reason for this has to do with people's perception and how they how far they've come forward in creating their own reality, or understanding how they create their own reality. That this comes from cellular levels of belief, not thought, not what we think, not what we think we believe, but what we were basically trained to believe in hypnosis as children, and what came from the beliefs from our ancestors. And we're like at the very end of this tremendously long chain, and we are carrying core beliefs we have no idea we even have. Ah, yeah, beliefs people don't even know that. Willingness to accept. There's a lot of people that are willing to accept, but their fields and bodies are really not capable of accepting, because they haven't done the work to shift and change the core beliefs, or the structure of consciousness that's connected to the brain. And actually, um, I've done quite a few cancer healings myself. I've been involved in a lot more facilitated healings, and like tumors the size of grapefruits that have like shrunk down and just basically flushed down into nothing. Ones with big, huge, long streamers, and medical doctors have found them and they've been like, oh, well, we're going to do this last thing and then you're going to come in and you're going to have surgery, or we're going to have to start radiation pre to surgery, et cetera, et cetera. And they've come in and we've gotten rid of it. Brain cancer. And there one day, gone the next. I know that Nikki Scully, who is another teacher and healer, does Egyptian stuff, very good friend of mine for years. She was dying in the hospital. Barbara Handclough and Mary Summerrain were at her bedside, and they had done everything they could do to heal her, and Nikki hadn't healed. And she came to just a point with inside herself, and the doctors had come back and said, okay, she's dying. We don't expect her to live through, the night, quite possibly. And she went inside herself with the idea that live or die, she was going to make the change, whatever change that had to be. And it's in her book, and she freely talks about it. She had a very large cancer healing satellite for a long time because she went inside and did a completely different flip with the cancer cells and sent love into the cells, the cancer cells, and embraced the cancer cells and embraced the creativity of the cells and shifted. And she got up out of the hospital the next day and went to do one of her first recordings with a couple of guys from the Grateful Dead who helped her start out with her first meditations. And she's awesome. Now, I put up a piece from earlier today, I put up a piece from Bruce Lipton, which talks about more of the cellular aspects. And the Cherokee have actually known that most forms of cancer are viral forever and ever. I mean, I trained with Lady Viola from Blue Clan. I had 7th degree with them, and when she showed me the inner of inners, there's Egypt. I was like, yeah. Then we talked, but that was decades ago. But the point is that you come to an energy healer, or you are an energy healer, and you've got cancer, and you decide, I don't know why, your beliefs aren't strong enough. Your core beliefs are with modern medicine, which we know is light dead cell medicine for the most part. They're moving into the stem cell and the dark living cell, but it's new. And since they, went through, I could say Europe, but they went through more than just Europe, but killed the witches, the healers of generations, and left us with butchers and barbers that we had for healing, that, bled us and fed us poisons and did really horrific things, and decided anatomy study of anatomy was, as bad as witchcraft, and hunted them down for a couple of years. And I can go on that. We already know all of this, but why someone who would be a healer or a medicine woman or the daughter of a medicine man or a sun dancer or whatever would choose to go with radiation or chemo or surgery to begin with, I don't understand. I do know that a lot of people who have shown up to work with me decided to go with allopathic medicine first, and they've lost their hair, and they're sick all the time. They have no energy. Very, very difficult. This makes it so much harder chemo, I mean, we're going in it with radiation and heavy metals, and the person who's in front of us has no energy, and the grid that has to be built, or the satellite that has to be created in order to bring enough energy to even connect someone with their grids and the the light body scaffolding at in the higher levels to even be able to turn that takes so much more work. And they're all about, well, you have the ability, and therefore, even though we put hundreds of thousands out or a whole ton of insurance, you should do it for free because you have a gift. Not that you haven't worked for 35 decades to develop your gift, to practice your gift. Not that you haven't, but tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars into the education and honing of your gifts. It's a gift, so it shouldn't have to be paid for. And it's not just that I personally have some problems with this, because there's a great deal of lack of gratitude, and a lot of people go back that are healed and go, well, the doctor said he was wrong. It was a mistake. I never had it. So, or, oh, the chemo finally just it went through and flushed it, and it just creates more bad patterns. But speaking to you all out there, any of you who have it, PM me, let's talk. Let me hook you up with some educational pieces that are completely free, that will help you change your core beliefs and your thought patterns, or come in and take some serious classes and dedicate yourself to yourself and cellularly heal through your own light patterns, your own energy, your own scaffolding, because this is just one interface. This is just one interface. Although it is 1D, 2D, 3D, and a 4D quantum field creator. You are a 4D quantum field creator. All you got to do is disconnect from the probability field long enough to shift your belief structure to allow you to be a creator, and you can create health. You can do this. I really don't want to sit here and tell everyone everything that I've been through in my own life and that I'm still standing. But I do believe I'm probably going to start a YouTube channel and start talking about it, because I know Nikki did it for herself. I know I did it for myself. I have facilitated it being done for others. And I have had a multitude of students and clients who have these patterns in their family, that it's supposed to be in their DNA, unless you listen to the world's top biologists and they're telling you, oh no, you can change your DNA. It's as simple as your perception. And I've been changing people's DNA for decades, and that's what the elders do. That's what the medicine men do. That's what the pharaohs do. That's what the witches did. That's what we can all do to bend without breaking, to change without force, to choose something different and dedicate with it. dedicate, become a disciple of the self, discipline to our own healing. Do it before you get it. Prevent it by changing those structures. If you get a bad report and you're stage 1, go take care of it. You're told, oh, there's a lump. Oh, there's a tumor. Oh, da-da-da. Go find someone to work with. Get a class. Start changing that core structure. Do the DNA changes. Putting radiation in your body or burning the cells from the outside through radiation from the outside in is not a good choice. It's not a good choice. Chemo, talk to some people who have had chemotherapy. Find out what that's like. Find out how long it is after someone has taken chemo that they're supposed to allow someone else to be in contact with them, or to have a child in contact with them after certain types of radiation therapy. Because it's admitted, it emanates through the field, through the body. And you can get someone else sick. It's very serious. And it can be stopped before it happens. Reiki on its own, I've never seen it do it on its own. Fabulous, fabulous healers, facilitators of healing. Reiki, it's not on its own. It's about the information field and the core belief structure and the pattern inside that facilitator and how they connect up with you. And then Reiki on its own or nothing else. A prayer will do it. Sacred healing water, 1 drink. The thought of it, the belief in it, changes it. But the core patterns have to change. The ancestral release has to happen. And you have to choose life. You have to choose you. And I love you all. I'm so glad you've joined me. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you know this, but I do this little thing regularly, and I call out, actually every day, to the sons of the sun and the daughters of the sun, those who have been pharaohs, those who have been high-level elders, chiefs, teachers, from the spiritual lines they come from, who've been born into ancestral lines that carry the ability to open up to the powers. We reincarnate into all kinds of different lines. We go where we're needed, and we feel so alone, so very alone, so very different. We are so very alone. We are so very different. There's a reason we're here, and we're needed. Take care of yourselves. And I'll be putting up new classes. PM me, and I'll let you know what's going to be going on. And And I have a terrible time keeping up with anything. Oh, I'm not so kind. Yeah, I can do it for someone else. Christy. Yeah, I've done it for other people. It's a weaving of the information field. So I guess I can say I facilitated it. It takes the other person. I am working on starting the channel with Shamise Daniels. And here I am trying to catch up with what you guys are saying. Helen, I figured that was a typo. Oh, hello, Kevin. Oh, I do take care of myself. Very much so. And while I'm facilitating, I've got streaming light running all through my field. Ultra high, diamond light. That's pretty massive. And I've got my crystals all around me, and the netters are with me, and I work. I don't go a day without working. Love and light, Neferka.